Hey there, I am the voice behind the Strictoaster YouTube channel. I'm known for making heavily detailed city skylines builds, and today I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to share some of the techniques that I use when I work on my projects. In this video, we'll specifically focus on the most common methods for developing the RCI areas in cities. Zoning areas versus individual building placement, also known as manual plopping. Each of these methods have their advantages and disadvantages depending on the type, scale, and level of detail you're trying to achieve in your city. So first, let's talk about zoning. Zoning is the default way of getting buildings to naturally grow as the demand in your city increases. This method requires no mods at all, and all you have to do is place down a road that's capable of zoning, paint the adjacent tiles with the type of zone you like, provide basic services, and watch the magic happen. This technique is particularly useful in cities with road layouts that intersect at perfect 90-degree angles, as it allows you to develop a large area of your city in a short amount of time, but can present some limitations when the road layout of your city is not a perfect grid. Curves and diagonals reduce the zonable areas, which not only limit the size of the buildings that can spawn, but also yield large gaps between them, making these areas look slightly less realistic. And this is where the second method of manually plopping buildings tries to bridge this gap, pun 100% intended. Quick note, just so that we are on the same page regarding lexicon, when I talk about manually plopping buildings, I'm strictly referring to placing down growables. We refer to these types of buildings as growables because they have a growing animation when you zone them. Now, in order to be able to manually plop buildings, you're going to need a few mods. First, we're going to need Find It, which is the most powerful search tool in City Skylines that allows you to access all of the growable type of buildings which are otherwise not available in any of the other game menus. Next is Plop the Growables, which allows you to do exactly what the title suggests and prevents building from despawning once you place them. I strongly recommend checking the mods description as there's some settings you can tweak that will affect the leveling up of your plop buildings. And last but certainly not least, we're going to need Move It, which is a mod that allows you to fine-tune the position of the buildings after you place them. Alright, if we go back to the first example, let's take a look at how we can use the second method to optimize the spacing of buildings when the road layout has irregular shapes. We then Find It, we will select the growables filter, which will reveal all of the game assets that are available, both vanilla and custom workshop assets. We can narrow down the list by filtering the different building categories. And now I will select one of the buildings, place it down on the grid, and then we're going to use Move It to nudge it to one of the sides. This gives us enough room to place a second building in this area, so let's go ahead and place another one. You can apply the same strategy for curved roads, where the tiles on a road are spread out on one side and shrunk on the other. With a little bit of building placement and position tweaking, we can create a seamless row of buildings without any gaps following the contour of the road. So taking this technique a step further, you can move buildings into one another, allowing you to create unique looking structures that can fill up large blocks in your city. Now, the cool thing about these two strategies is that you don't really have to pick one or the other. A single city oftentimes has multiple road layouts within them, and depending on which area of the city needs to be worked on, you can take advantage of each of these techniques at any given time, or even both in conjunction. I'm hoping this tutorial will make it easy to not only cover large portions of your city faster, but also increase the fidelity of your builds. And if you're hungry for more City Skylines tips, check out the many videos already on this channel, and while you're at it, make sure to subscribe to be notified when the next one comes out. But that's all I have for you today. Stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.